Do, do. Boop,
Good
boop.
evening. Welcome to a world of darkness. Nightfall in Amsterdam. This evening, a small group of individuals seem drawn to a similar place. A theater, popular amongst the supernaturals as a neutral meeting ground. And that is where this scene begins.
Yeah. Air's gonna kind of walk on up to the door and she opens it and kind of looks around. This is the second time she's been here, but it's still a strange place to her. Uh she's not really dressed all this place is more of an upscale place. She's not really dressed for it, so she might kind of stand out in her jeans and leather jacket, but she don't care.
Behind her, Little Fang is following. She is small, like 4 feet small, and she's barefoot. She doesn't seem to care. Her hair is wild, and she looks up at her. Why do we come to this place again? You
If one
said
of
it
you guys
is.
wants to go next, that's fine. Valkyrie will probably arrive last.
You said it is for meetings, but do we not do those in the woods?
Well, this is a place for a different type of meeting, I guess. We meet other night folk, as it were, here. It's a good way to gain information, but it's also a safe space. Yeah. Yeah, we can't hurt each other here unless it's with words.
Place to find prey. Good to know.
Well, I mean, you try anything like that in here, things are going to go poorly for you, from what I understand. It's
You
rumored
do
that
not
there's.
act here then.
Yes.
You track your prey.
That being said, she kind of like looks Lil Fang over and she's like, "Girl, we need to find you some shoes."
Alvaro has given me shoes several times.
So
I do
why
not
aren't you
find them
wearing them?
comfortable.
Are they too small?
I do not know.
Do
Your
they feel
feet are not
tight?
meant to be covered.
Got it. I've got to get used to how you four legs operate.
She is like scanning every bit of this room, like curiously, like
Right? I
she's
mean,
never seen anything like it.
I know there's a bar and there's a couple of stages and some tables like in the bar area, and I think there's multiple levels too, if I recall from the first time we were in here. Um, yeah, it's a nice upscale place. Should we get a drink? We might need it.
That is very likely.
Well, Air is gonna go get her go up to the bar and get her usual Jameson on the rocks. She's gonna kind of look at Lil Fang. You want something? You want water? Is that what you want, or do you want something else?
Water is the best drink, but I have found that Alvaro seems to think that fire water of various kinds is better. He insists that I should learn to like Jack of the Daniels.
Air rolls her eyes and she's like, "He's so wrong. That stuff is disgusting. If you're going to drink whiskey, don't drink American whiskey. It's gross. But if you want something else, you want something like they make all kinds of flavors. Sweet. You want something that burns. Uh, something creamy.
Alvaro said, when I am unsure what to order, say, surprise me.
Got it. She kind of just like she kind of just orders another thing of Jameson and she's like, here. Hands it to her.
And we can pause us there for the moment, let other people come in, and I'm going to reload since some people can't hear me.
Fair enough.
Draven will wander in next. He is meticulously groomed, wearing his nice suit that you see in his picture there. His skin is stark white, very, 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 very deathly pale, like almost inhumanly so. And he walks with unnatural grace as he kind of wanders in and scans the theater. Seeing a bar, he will definitely go over there and order something off the top shelf, some scotch of some sort,
Okay.
and lean up against the bar.
He sees a very small woman with a red head.
Yes. It's probably significantly taller.
Yeah, he stands about 6'2" and is a wiry, like 180 pounds.
Okay. And the redhead kind of gives him a funny look just because he's so pale.
He'll nod, kind of smile.
She'll give a nod back and take a sip off of her whiskey.
The small girl climbs up and perches on the seat.
Probably an equally pale another person joins with black and white hair, dressed in a black and white Victorian Lolita dress. And she doesn't order alcohol. She actually orders a cup of water at the bar.
Air kind of glances over at her, and she just stares at her for a second and gives her a half smirk.
She'll look over at Air. She'll raise the cup of water, smirk back, and she goes, "Oh, not traveling dangerous paths tonight, I see."
Not tonight, no. We reserve that for every other night of the week.
Yes. Did you ever deal with that dragon keeping things away from my house? She's smiling playfully still at her.
She half chuckles and she's like, "Oh, that dragon is a long ways from your house still."
Makes my work easier then.
I'm really hoping to return him home, though. He makes my job a lot more difficult.
Well, I hope you do, because I would hate to have to slay him.
She laughs at the Jameson.
Oh, no slaying of this one. He prefers to be bound. She chuckles.
She kind of tilts her head and goes woof woof and takes a sip of her water.
And the redhead like laughs, knee slapping laugh.
Draven's just watching back and forth at the banter and kind of trying to put together what's going on.
Is this better than Jack of the Daniels?
Yes, it is. Irish whiskey is far superior to American whiskey.
Never helps you sleep at night.
Who said anything about sleeping at night?
What else would you be doing at night?
Oh, there's plenty of things. She winks at Valkyrie.
Valkyrie tilts her head, very confused.
Her eyes kind of dart back and forth between Valkyrie and Lilfang.
Little Fang has the drink set on her knees because her knees are up to her chest, and she's just holding it there and lapping at it occasionally.
She like looks over at Lilfang and she's like, you can pick that up and drink it like everyone else would.
She turns her head, looking up at you.
No offense.
I
Yeah,
am
you just
not
have to
doing
learn.
something very human.
No,
I
you are
see.
not. If we were out in the woods, whatever, I'd pour it in a dish and let you have at it, but we're not in the woods.
By the way, is tall, dark, and handsome one of yours or what?
Erin kind of looks over her shoulder at him and she's like, I don't know. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting him.
I'm new to town.
Yeah, lots of people that are new here.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Do all the new people just openly watch?
Well,
I mean, you don't know anybody. People watching, I guess, is a good way to figure out who you want to talk to.
Or who you want to hunt.
I am
And she
not
picks
much
up
of
the
a
glass like she's going to drink, and she tries to drink, and she ends up pouring more of it down her than she gets into her mouth.
Slow. Take it slow.
Valkyrie opens her bag and pulls an unwrapped straw out and offers it to Ear.
And she'll stick it in Lil Fang's drink. Try that. You put it in your mouth and suck on it.
The best advice for any young woman.
I cannot deny this fact.
Oh, and that Erin just kind of takes her glass and brings it up to her mouth and starts drinking the whiskey at a rather rapid pace, trying
the
not to
straw have
laugh.
the bent neck, or is it just a straight straw?
It's a bent.
She looks at it uncertain. She kind of puts her mouth over the bent part and sucks. Looks over at air, spits it out. It does not work.
Did you put it over the whole bent part?
Uh-huh.
Air loses her shit laughing. No, just the tip. Just the tip.
I need another one of these. Oh no.
I feel there is humor I am missing.
They're being naughty people.
I do not see nuts.
Oh boy. Oh. Air has to take another long drink.
Valkyrie's going to pull out an extra straw from her bag. You're not quite sure how many things she keeps in this bag, and stick it in her own drink and show Little Fang an example of how to properly use it.
And I'm very sorry. You asked a question, and I did not attempt to answer it. I don't know what any of you are, so I don't know who I actually belong with here. Now we all get to stare at each other
Little Fang starts sniffing the air.
Yep.
What kind of smells does he have on him?
Probably soap, a little bit of sweat underlying that. Kind of locker roomy smells.
Well, because this is an automatic thing here anyway, because I have the gift and I don't have to roll. I cannot. He's not one of us.
I am not one of you.
She looks
Lil
at Lil
says
Fang.
he bathes, spends time around men, but has not bathed recently.
I took a shower after working out. What are you talking about?
Her smells very good, so maybe she's smelling something on you we wouldn't.
That's true.
Air
So-
chuckles and she kind of extends her hand to him. Air Sigurdsson.
Draven Michaels, and he'll hold his hand out. His hand is room temperature.
Well, she kind of looks at Lil Fang. He's not dead.
I am not
This
dead.
is good.
Process of elimination of knowing what's in the city here. Having grown up here, I'm going to say he's a will worker.
You are correct.
Oh, so he's one of mine then.
Mm-hmm.
If you play nicely, perhaps.
She tilts her head this time at him. What's your tower?
Akashic Brotherhood.
Oh, goody. One of the punchy ones.
Punchy.
I'm more than just punchy, thank you.
All the ones I've met just like to punch things.
Well, I don't.
Nothing wrong with punching things. Air works.
I'm more complicated than that, I would like to think.
Well, a little more complicated than what everyone stereotypes us to be, right?
Indubitably.
I'm a Euthanatos, though. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well.
Little Fang has now downed all of the rest of her drink.
Through the straw?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. She looks at the bartender and she's like, Barkeep, this gal is going to need another one.
I wouldn't give her too much here. We don't know how much she can handle.
I think she'll be all right.
I recover quickly like this.
Good to know. I will never understand you.
No doubt she'll probably do better than I did the last time I drank. And she laughs.
I remember the last time you were drinking. I remember you being knocked down several times. And then losing
again, didn't I?
You did. It was commendable for you.
Well, that was also a different kind of alcohol. Okay, it was the same kind of alcohol, just with a little something extra.
And yet I still won with the throwing of the knives, it was?
You did. You did. We should all really do that again sometime. Though we might want to leave that one dude out.
I have not seen him since that night. I do not feel I will see him often.
Probably a good thing for him because I kind of want to rip his throat out.
So,
I know.
Speaking of your people, I have not seen Rat in a while.
Air gets this cringy look on her face. Nor will you see her again.
Oh. Is she in a timeout or something?
A permanent timeout.
Oh. Well, isn't that
She
sad?
committed some terrible crimes and paid for them.
I should still be able to see her, though.
Oh, that's right. You can go to the lands of the dead. That's why we saw our dragon friend.
I hate that dragon.
You know, I wouldn't really say that dragon is a terrible thing, but it definitely doesn't do many favors. Kind of keeps the balance, I guess, or it's intended to.
Keeping the balance would be letting me do my job, not blowing me out of where I belong.
Perhaps it's got a different idea of what your job should be.
She looks over at Valkyrie. You walk with death?
Yes, I do. It's my job to keep the wheel turning.
His job
Strange.
is similar.
I walk with death.
She'll raise her cup of water to Little Fang in a toast.
I can only imagine. Air kind of looks at Lil Fang when Valkyrie lifts her glass for toast.
She's watching her like, what is she doing?
Air kind of gently reaches over and grabs Lil Fang's hand with the drink in it and lifts it to clink the glasses together.
Little Fang will leave her hand sitting up there because that's what Valkyrie was doing.
She'll then take her drink to her mouth and mutter, "To death," and take a drink.
Air will let go of Lil Fang's hand and lean over and say, "And this is when you take a drink too."
Do I drink with the
sucky part.
thing? Or do I drink with the edge?
You drink it however you want.
I was told that is
Suck it
not
or rim it.
acceptable.
When you make that toast, Draven has a definite smirk on his face.
She will drink or try to. Let's see if she can manage to drink like from the edge this time.
Slowly. Remember, take it slow. Take that rim nice and slow.
Slowly drinks it from the rim, very neatly.
Good job.
They
It
grow
tastes so much
so
better that way.
So if you lovely ladies are my kind, or our kind, he'll gesture to Valkyrie, what does that make you?
That makes us wild creatures.
Some innocent little creatures who decided to walk into a path that needed a Valkyrie to save them. She's smoking at Ear.
She kind of looks at Valkyrie and she's like, I don't need a Valkyrie to save me. Do you know who I follow?
She kind of chuckles.
You will come for me at death. I'm certain of it.
She chuckles. She goes, "Yeah, but death would have come a lot quicker to you if you had gone in there completely unwarned." Never trust one of them. They're dangerous.
She kind of looks at Valkyrie and she's like, you know I've been there before. right?
No, I didn't. All I saw was a group of people stumbling into what seemed like a trap to me.
It's a trap. It's always a trap.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna flash their tits and dicks at you, get you distracted, and you'll be stuck there for a few hundred years.
Oh no, no. Nope, nope, nope. I've learned my lesson from those folk. We don't mess with those folk.
What kind of folk are you speaking of?
Fairies.
Uh, uh,
They have strange powers that can make you do things you wouldn't normally do. I recommend a large amount of caution when dealing with them,
I understand.
provided, of course, you know you're dealing with them.
Indeed.
And she drains her own glass at that and sets it down on the bar and gets a refill.
Little Fang sets her cup next to yours. It too is empty.
Air kind of gives Lil Fang like a smile, like, good job. You're one up on me. And she orders her another one. Unless you'd like to try something else.
As Alvaro says to say, surprised me.
You should get her to try a Bahama Mama.
I don't know what that is. I've never drank. Is that one of those fruity drinks?
It's kind of vodka and fruit punch.
Or maybe a mojito. You might probably fall in love with mojitos. They're amazing.
They're bubbly and minty, right? Right.
Mojitos are rummy and coconutty.
Coconutty.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's fruity.
It's the fruity ones that always trick you and then get you under the table, though.
I have not been under the table.
Well, perhaps someday you'll have an opportunity.
It would require me to have a table.
There are plenty. I'm sure someone's willing to volunteer.
People are tables?
Air is uncontrollably laughing at this
I believe
point.
I understood that one, and that was a sexual innuendo.
You are making jokes of me.
Oh, not. I mean, I would have made that joke to anybody.
By the way, Ear, you and your brother never came to see me at work. Why doesn't he want to meet me?
My brother?
The one you and Rad and everyone spoke of when we first met.
Well, if you're speaking of my actual brother, my biological brother, I've only recently reunited with him myself, so but I honestly don't recall the conversation. A lot has gone on since that such incident. Yeah. A lot. She kind of smiles. We've been quite busy with a variety of our own issues, so I apologize. I don't mean to blow you off.
I assumed you all were busy, or I had all terrified all your friends. I know I can be a little offsetting, I believe is the word.
Off-putting?
Off-putting. Yes.
No, I think you're fine. After all, like I said, I'm used to your kind, as it were.
Little Fang moves from her perch on the chair to sitting on the bar so that she can see the three people.
Erica has this look of like her mouth just drops when Little Fang sits on the bar, like she doesn't know what to say.
Is there a problem, Air?
We don't sit on the bar top.
It has padding like the chair. It is a seat.
No. People get their drinks served to them on that, and food. We don't put our buttholes where food is served.
I have the clothes on.
Oh, you don't sit. You don't sit on tables and bar tops.
To be fair, based on what my friend Aaron has shown me from the internet, it can't be worse than what most people put on their faces or in their mouths.
Oh, sweet Gaia. I don't want to know what Aaron has shown you.
Little Flame reluctantly gets down.
I'll tell you what, Valkyrie. Aaron has a strong hatred for little old me. I'm not entirely sure why.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure he hates even me. He tolerates and calls you friend if you're helpful. Any other time, he pretty much hates your guts. That's kind of how every one of his tower has been since I've met them. They're very logical and cold.
Well, him and his flaming asshole buddy tend to insult me any chance they get.
Flaming asshole buddy?
Shall I go
He's quite
take care of
literally
his
flaming.
friend?
Huh? She looks at Little Fang.
To make the fight fair, so that you may kill Aaron, and I will kill his friend.
I have no intention of killing Aaron. That would start a whole new war. But his flaming buddy might be something.
I don't know which one is the flaming buddy, or I could give you advice. Or possibly tell them to stop it.
She kind of looks over at Valkyrie. He's quite literally a type of fire spirit.
Oh, a spirit. Well, I mean, that threat can be taken care of without any violence.
Oh, I know. Spirits are my specialty, she smirks.
We are familiar with spirits.
Not
Yeah.
mine.
It's a very powerful spirit.
How did he get a spirit? That shouldn't be something he's trained properly to handle.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how he got the spirit, but the spirit's probably looking for some kind of power and willing to take it wherever he can get it. She kind of.
Well, it's as I told him. If you rush in and take hasty actions, you're bound to get burned. Spirits
In this
like
case,
that
quite literally.
burn him.
It's quite unfortunate because even if Aaron is very straightforward and literal, I didn't dislike him. But his flaming buddy is kind of... I really dislike his flaming buddy. I really, really dislike him. Really, 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 really. And she's very enthusiastic about her dislike for his flaming buddy.
Well, that might explain some text messages I was getting that were completely unprofessional.
What kind of text messages?
Aaron has seen me in other clothing when we went to events and such. Messages about body builds and curves and working right for him.
You know, he would not. I don't. I've noticed that since he undertook his flaming friend, that those kind of comments have come out more. I noticed it entailing a friend of mine when I was taking care of some business, and he even directed some comment at me, and I blew him off because, well, not my type, but it was definitely an eye roller. And he would have, the times previously that I had met him, he would not have made such comments.
I thought maybe something was wrong with his programming since he's not fully human. I guess for your people, the closest terminology I could find is a child of the Weaver.
Oh, you mean like some kind of Terminator, like a cyborg?
Yeah, he's basically a computer in a human body.
Definitely noticed his weirdness, but I don't dabble
Little Fang
much
is
in
giving
such things.
Air a look.
What kind of look?
The can we just go kill him kind of look?
Air literally just looks at her and says, "No. We have allies amongst their numbers. We don't want to start another war."
Or do you?
Or do you?
There might be a small growl of displeasure.
Well, if he keeps it up, our leaders will punish him, and I'm not sure what your word for leader would be. They're not nice when they
Most higher ups aren't nice, and they don't put up with shit.
I
In
mean,
which case, if he gets out of hand, I'm sure he'll be taken care of. I know a few in your number that don't put up with shit.
no, most of us don't. I mean,
I don't either, and I think that's why he doesn't like me, because when they were being jackasses, I called him out on it. I don't think they appreciated that very much.
I think the last time I had a full discussion with him, he got pissy because I took the other mage's side.
You agree with who you agree with.
Oh, see, I cannot remember the character's name, but it was Sean Tabor's mage.
Oh, okay. He's no longer here, so.
No. Mage that recently moved, but they were fighting over basically dick waving, and the other one made the more logical argument.
Who had the better helicopter?
Basically, Aaron got pissy and left because the other mage told him, if you're supposed to be so smart and logical, why are you letting your ego get involved?
Draven finishes his like fourth scotch, fills up another, gets another one, and goes. He's still within like earshot, but he sits like lays down in a booth and is just like sitting there listening to you guys.
If he's a child of the Weaver, is not a helicopter something he should have?
Well,
Draven slinks down in the booth a little more at that.
Valkyrie's playful side is coming out. I'm so sorry for this. Valkyrie's going to smile at Littlefang and go, well, all men among humans have a helicopter. They're just varied in size, and some have teeny tiny ones, and she makes a super small form with her fingers, and some have average, and she'll do like her fingers 6 inches apart, and then some have huge, and she does no hand gesture for that.
Oh, Air cannot help herself. She literally she sits down on a bar stool and she sets her drink on the bar and she leans so far forward.
No, even
her head is virtually between her knees as she's turning red, laughing so hard, and she's almost crying.
Littlefang looks over at Draven.
Unfortunately, women like me, though, have not actually seen these helicopters in person, but someday.
Do you have a helicopter,
Aaron
Draven?
Loudly yells
Oh
that.
God, he's down. You can't even see his face at this point. You just see an arm with a drink. Like, oh no.
Yes.
Does that mean that he lost his helicopter?
Aaron lost his helicopter. Yeah, maybe. She looks over at Draven. I'm sure Draven's helicopter is just put up somewhere out of the way so it doesn't cause
It's
trouble.
tucked away because it gets itself in trouble if it's around.
And to answer your question, Ear, yes, I am a virgin.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh. Well, when it happens, she'll give you a thumbs up.
When it happens, it'll be with, a responsible, mature person who can handle it beyond, hey, babe, I bought you dinner you're supposed to put out.
That's fair. That's fair.
The drink raises. Preach it.
No, absolutely.
I believe the worst scenario I've dealt with in the dating scene is a man throwing a stack of $100 bills at me going, want to go to the bathroom? I thought you goth chicks were kinky.
Please tell me you beat the shit out of him.
No, but I sent a friend home with him.
Is your friend into this goth chick kinky thing?
No, I sent a spirit home to teach a lesson to him.
I do hope he learned a lesson.
Littlefang nods like, that makes sense. I can respect that.
If it's any consolation, if I had been around and we were friends, that would have ended poorly for him before he got home.
Yeah, that would have ended poorly for him on the spot.
I've learned my lesson. I don't let any of the women I know drag me to those speed blind date events anymore.
It's a lot easier to just meet somebody that you click with and go with it on your own. Why force it?
Yes. These were a couple of girls who were like, oh, we know you. We're going to this event. We think you'd like it. I had promised them I would leave the house that day, so I agreed.
One should not mate until they are ready.
Practicing is fun, though. Air smirks.
I understood that terminology.
You cannot practice mating.
Well, oh yes, you can. Air laughs. Practice makes perfect. Isn't that what they say?
Glass raises again.
If
You
you
can tell he's
mate,
like 5 scotches to the wind. He's like, reach it! And he drinks.
Some people even practice on themselves.
They do.
you cannot
His hand
mate
raises
with
about halfway up and
yourself.
then he puts it back down. Figures that probably shouldn't be something to be proud of.
Some people
You
do.
cannot mate with yourself. You cannot conceive children that way.
No, but you cannot.
How old is she, Ear?
Air looks over at Lil Fang. You can better answer that question than I can. How old are you?
I have seen 5 cycles of the seasons.
Oh. Oh.
Valkyrie is slowly moving all alcohol away from Little Fang now.
She's like, no, trust me, it doesn't work that way.
Ear.
She ages a lot faster than the rest of us do.
She is a child.
No, believe me, by her type, she's more than a child.
She is an innocent, at least. I would assume
Innocent, I will not disagree with.
I have killed many. I am a strong warrior,
she looks
a brave warrior.
mutters corrupter.
What did you just call me?
You're corrupting this poor innocent lady. Child, girl.
No. I'm simply teaching her the ways of those of us that were not born the same way. If she is to properly be in the city with our folk, then she needs to learn.
True, but I would probably keep her off the alcohol because now that I look at her, she doesn't look a day over 16.
How old does Lil Fang appear in
She looks like she could be a mid-teen gymnast,
Okay, so yeah, about right.
maybe.
Isn't that an American thing? Like,
Normally it is, but I'm suggesting that because the city we're in, there are a lot of perverted men who will take advantage of that.
honey, trust me, I know.
Man,
I've done my share of cleaning that shit out. And
Men
I'm not
cannot
letting
take
her leave
advantage
without
of
me.
me.
She's coming with me when she leaves.
That's good. And
pretty sure any man that tries to take advantage of her it'll end more poorly for the man than he expects.
to be fair, I don't know how a roofie would affect one of them.
Oh, I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
And
Erin leans over and she says, "It probably wouldn't."
There's a certain amount of privilege I have. I normally don't have to worry about being roofied.
I was going to say,
Now, if you encounter one of those fae folk, some of their magic, for lack of better wording, could be like a roofie. At least that's how my boyfriend described it.
oh, your boyfriend.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Not horribly long ago, like before Halloween.
I must have been walking the shadows then.
He's a very
Her
sexy
scent has not
Irishman.
changed. So either they have been mating for a long time, or they have not mated yet.
Era, like, literally looks at Lil Fang and she's like, oh, fuck. And she's kind of drinks her drink. we were friends for a long time. And
Do
yeah,
you mate with all your friends?
no. No.
Then it is safe to be your friend.
Um
Yeah, that
on
yeah.
that note,
Well,
on that
that took
note,
a
Lil
left turn.
Fang, I can't. Yes, you're right. You're right. You know that mating doesn't work with all friends, right? Like,
And also, to be fair,
She's just staring at you.
Draven, on what you said a moment ago, men get roofied in this town also. I've seen it.
yes,
Oh,
they
grand.
do. I recommend being very careful in this city.
Unless I know the bar and their owner, I don't order a drink.
I wouldn't
Good to
go
know.
that far. I would suggest going with friends and for like friends that you really, really trust and not separating from them. Like friends that you know aren't going to let you just go off on your own.
So
The
you want
only,
to? Oh, sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say, you want to know the fun part about that? I've now met a total of 4 people in this city.
And the only two friends
Oh.
who normally
3.
try to take me out are Miranda and Aaron.
Miranda, I bet you learned a lot from that girl.
She was interesting.
She's a wonderful young lady. She talks a lot. And she sometimes does so loudly.
Very
But
loudly.
she's a very nice lady. Her and I had a heart to heart not too long ago. You could say we're roommates.
Yes. I mean, the only other thing I've really done recently is send those advertisements for that new brothel to Aaron, hoping that maybe helps him calm down.
Brothels. More brothels.
This one's a very nice one. Like the style is very beautiful. The whole building's been renovated to be like Art Deco 1920s, and like you have to be a paid member to get in. I got to tour it because I pretended to be a journalist, and
Oh.
like the inside is one of the cleanest foundations I've ever been in. There was not a speck of dust anywhere. And the women, I've never seen that many whores dressed that nicely before in one place.
I have a thing. I just can't deal with that scenario. I just can't.
Well, I
The
mean,
long and the short of it is, the last place my parents went MIA, all right? And the last place I was able to track them was to a brothel where some nasty shit was going down. But they weren't there. I don't know where they are.
how about this? In case it might be connected to that, I still have dinner passes to do free dinners there. If you ever want to check it out and make sure it's not connected.
You know? That might be a good thing.
Cough, cough. John can yell at me later. Cough, cough.
I don't think he will. Oh no, I think that'll be I might have to find a way to keep myself in check.
I mean,
These kind of places tend to make me very upset.
well, the owner is a young lady named Scarlett Duncern. Other than that, I don't know much else about her. I mean, she's really pretty. She's blonde. She's very professional. You won't see a single piece of naked skin while you're there.
I mean, there's a big difference between people who willingly work in a brothel and a big difference between people who are victims of human trafficking.
I understand. That's why
And that seems to be a big problem in this city.
She's going to hand a couple of the passes to Ear and be like, in case you want to make sure it's all on the up and up.
I do and I don't, but I'll take them.
I mean, worst case, you send some of the guys you know in there.
No, I'll take Miranda with me. She'll know.
I am pretty sure Miranda would enjoy inspecting that place.
We'll call it a girls' night out.
Is it sad I imagine her with the white glove going along the railings?
I don't know. I could see it. She seems to be very in tune with her with herself in those regards.
Draven, would you like one also?
For the brothel? No, thank you.
It's just for dinner. It's no private room entertainment passive.
I'll go if someone else goes. I just don't know anybody in the town at this point, so I don't really travel a whole lot.
She'll hold her hand out with one of the passes. Hi, I'm Valkyrie. I'm usually everywhere.
Hi, Valkyrie. I'm still Draven, and I'm feeling very tipsy.
Can the good sir get a buttery nipple, please?
You mean a slippery nipple?
Oh, she's the only one I've ever known as buttery nipple.
They're the same thing.
I feel like they would be very different things.
Butter is
would
slippery,
make the
is it
nipple
not?
slippery. Butter makes many things slippery.
Erica kind of looks at Little Fang. Great minds, and she kind of points between her head and Little Fang's.
Which of our minds are you speaking of?
Oh, sweet mother. Oh, sweet mother.
And I thought is a brothel not part of a soup?
That would be a broth. Brothel is...
Explain this.
Let me put this very directly. A brothel is a whorehouse. It's where people go and they pay to have sex. To mate.
Oh, it is something for your people. I understand.
Your people.
I'm starting to think she's like some of the others I met, where she wasn't exactly human before.
Right. She's more in tune with nature than, say, the three of us would be.
Understood.
I'm perfectly in tune with my nature. Thank you very much.
I didn't say your nature. I said nature.
She's smirking at her.
I'm pretty in tune with nature myself.
So says the punchy one.
What the heck? I am not the punchy one.
If he's the punchy one, Air kind of balls up her right hand into a fist and puts it into her left hand.
I was pretty sure that somebody told me fighting here is a bad idea, so...
That was me.
Yeah, see?
No, I mean, if you want to throw down, we can later, but I don't really think it's necessary. I don't really want to knock you out or anything. I don't have a reason to, really. We just met. You don't seem like an asshole.
I'm not normally.
We all have our moments, don't we?
Indubitably.
Ah.
Well, I should get back to the graveyard and deal with some voices and imageries.
The graveyard? Are you Miranda's roommate at her other house?
No,
She said she lived in a graveyard.
I lived near a graveyard. I'm not actually living in the graveyard, though.
Okay. Got it.
She will, since Ear already has her cell phone number, though, she will write her number down and give it to Draven in case you need help meeting with any of the big heads.
I appreciate it. I'll give a business card to her.
She'll take it and tuck it in her bag, which is shaped like a black cat today.
A black cat.
Yes. Oh, I also
Mhm.
forgot to mention she's in like those 12-inch platformer Lolita shoes today too.
Like boots or like stiletto heels?
Like Mary Jane Hills.
Okay.
Because Valkyrie is short and she wears heels trying to be taller.
Air kind of looks at her shoes and she's like, those are some really chunky heels.
Yes, and with these magical human contraptions on my feet, I am now the size of an adult woman of my age.
Air immediately whips her head in the direction of Lilfang. See?
But I am also not a wolf woman of the forest and Mother Nature.
Hey, I'm not obnoxiously tall myself. I mean,
So
Obnoxiously
those-
tall.
You need those contraptions on her feet to make you an adult-sized woman?
Yes,
yes. You two have something in common. I think you should take our friend here shoe shopping.
I'll bring my computer around sometime, since all my shopping is done online. What, you think I can get a proper corset in this city?
Maybe at that brothel. And Air smirks at her and takes a drink of her whiskey.
I'm gonna seduce your brother just to piss you off, is all she says.
Good luck finding him.
Touche.
I can probably find him. He will not smell too terribly different from his sister.
He's a very big man. He's also a redhead.
Size matters little.
Well, they do say redheads are the best.
We're fiery.
The best what?
The best personalities. Hey, Ear. You know I love you. You're a good friend. Little thing. Her brother has a helicopter too. You should ask him about it. And she's gonna leave.
And she starts Air like actively makes like the gagging face.
Goodness
Does
gracious.
this mean I have a best personality?
We all have a best personality. But I'm not entirely sure if you want to involve yourself with my brother, she says quite loudly as Valkyrie is leaving.
Don't worry, I won't try to
I
date
do
your
not.
brother either.
I'm glad. I mean, if that's what floats your boat, by all means, but I don't think it is what floats my brother's boat. You may at some point meet him.
I hope to meet more people.
He,
You all seem like decent folk.
He's like you and Valkyrie.
How does our kinds get along in this area?
That depends on the individual.
Okay.
I myself, like I said, both of my siblings actually are like you. So I feel a little bit more differently about them than some of us do. Oh shit, he disappeared.
Probably accidentally closed the window or the
Right.
tab. He's a pack.
Oh. Okay. I'll add him back.
Sorry about that.
Nope, that's okay. So Air will kind of look at you and I don't know what all you heard last before you dropped.
It depends on the person, was all I heard.
Okay, she said it depends on the person. She feels a little bit differently because both of her siblings are like you. So she's a little more open to it. Most of her people won't be, but you have quite a few who are fairly open-minded, especially those who are in charge.
Understood.
And I know more than a few of your people too. I know Valkyrie, and I know beyond my siblings a few others. But I'm not going to out them because, well, I prefer having them as allies at this point.
Outing other than this Miranda you mentioned?
No.
She is your roommate. Does
Yes.
that mean she mates with you as well?
No. I said she's essentially my roommate. She's not exactly my roommate. We live within the same block. We don't share a bed. Miranda and I cannot make babies together. Miranda and I talk. And she's very friendly with many.
Well, so far I like everybody I've met here.
Good. I like making friends.
Speaking of, he'll reach in. He has to hunt down his business cards again because, well, he put them away and he has drank 6 drinks. So he will pull out one for you, and he kind of looks at Lil Fang's like, yeah, whatever, and gives her one too, even though she's not going to have to do with it.
She looks at Lil Fang and she says, "Give that to Alvaro. He'll know what to do with it for you."
He's going to put it in the phone.
Do you have your
he?
phone on your person?
Yes, because Alvaro insists when I leave like this to have it.
Okay, good. And she's gonna look at Draven. Do you have your phone on you?
He pats all, yes, right here. And he's
Okay.
like, speaking of, he orders an Uber.
Hold up.
Oh.
I don't have a business card. Can I see your phone?
He'll slide his phone over to you.
And she'll set it down on the bar so he can see flat so he can see what she's doing. And she'll pull up an add contact and throw her phone number in it.
Okay.
Save it and hand it back to him.
Thank you much. He puts it.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure to meet you.
It's been a pleasure to meet both of you fine ladies. Have a wonderful evening. I am going to make my way to an Uber and not fall down.
Do you need some assistance?
I think I'll be okay.
You sure?
70-30. He's leaning against the booth as he's standing there. He's like, "Oh, I'm okay." And
she'll offer him her arm.
So I don't know. You got a boyfriend. I don't want no feisty person to beat me up.
I don't mean it like that.
Oh, I know you don't, but boys are jelly.
You have no idea about
him?
this man. I don't think he's if he were jealous, we would have been done for a long time ago.
I'm just playing anyway. Yes, and he'll let you lead him out, and the Uber arrives, and he has to leave.
All right. And she'll come back in and collect Lil Fang. You want to drink some more, or are you ready to go home?
I will stay if that is your desire. They have many things that I have not tried yet.
Oh, you want to try more things?
I have
mean-
not felt the buzz, as Alvaro says.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. We can have such a fun time. But, do you like the Irish whiskey? Now that
It
you've had
is-
it multiple more times.
It is better than the Jack of Daniels and Coke.
Good, good. You make sure to tell Alvaro that when you go home later.
Valkyrie totally texted Ear about the spirit she saw with Little Fang.
Okay. Air kind of picks up her phone and like reads it and looks at it, and she's gonna. I'll just drop a gnosis to do it, so I don't have to pull up my sheet. She's gonna pick up and drop a gnosis and peek into the umbra. I'm assuming she sees the death spirit thing.
All the spirits are inside her body.
Oh, okay. And she'll stop for a minute and she'll like send Valkyrie a text back saying like, I don't see it. I can't accuse you of being drunk.
Text back. They're inside of her.
Oh. And she says, I don't see inside people. And it feels really weird to text that I don't see inside people. And she'll leave it at that. Drinks, Lil Fang.
Give me something strong. This Jameson is just bad tasting water.
So you want a 3 wise men?
No, I want a strong drink. I do not want 3 men.
Oh, you're getting 3 men.
Wise
And
or
she
not.
orders the 3 wise men from the bar. And she said, it's a shot glass. It's a really big shot. And she moves it down in front of you and she says, here are your 3 men. You cannot just sip this. You have to slam it all. It's called a shot.
Slam it?
You take it all at once.
Where am I taking it?
In your mouth. Air will order another one. Watch what I do. And she'll bring the glass up to her lips and tilt it back and swallow it all in one shot and put the glass down on the bar counter. Like that. Just like that.
And you said there's 1 shot glass or 3 of them?
1.
She takes it, shoots it back, and puts it back down just like Air did.
Depending on what version you want to do, it's Jim, Jack, and Jose, or Jim, Jack, and Johnny Walker. It's 3 wise men. And she looks at Little Fang and she's like, you just had 3 men at once.
I have had no men.
Oh, there were 3 men in that glass.
There were not men in the glass. I would have seen men.
You tell Alvaro that you had his man Jack along with a man named Jim and a man named Johnny in one glass. I bet he knows what I'm talking about. Have you ever encountered fairies?
I do not have fairies.
Would you like to encounter some fairies? I promise you they're green, they're natural.
Natural fairies? What exactly are fairies?
They are magical beings. In this case, it's a type of alcohol that's magical. This will be the last drink I give you, though. And she orders them both absinthe. And it's a bright green liqueur. And you see that they put like one of the strainers for a shaker over the top with a sugar cube. And they pour a little bit of water over it, just enough to dissolve the sugar cube.
Mm-hmm.
And then they light the glass on fire. And Air will blow hers out and slam it back. And she kind of points her finger at you to do the same.
Okay, let me see if she gets it blown out. She's not used to blowing stuff out. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. So that's gonna be. She tries to do the little blowing out and then immediately drink it, except it doesn't quite get out.
Air would have tried to blow it out before she threw the shot back, seeing that it's still on fire as she picks it up.
She will then stare at you for a moment and then drink it. 4, 10. Upping the difficulty again. She doesn't seem to be even staggering, slurring.
This is the last drink we're going to have for the night. We'll work on other things later. I know that she's like, let's go. Let's go. We'll talk about this on our way out.
As you wish.
Okay. And Air will lead her out, and once they're outside, she's going to say, well, I know that the human, and she pulls at her jacket and her shirt. She's like, our clothes aren't exactly your thing considering your birth. But if you're going to be in a big city like this, you need to better fit in so as not to draw attention to yourself. You can... I know. It sucks stepping out of your comfort zone. I don't blame you. I like being in your form. But in the city, the no shoes isn't really acceptable. And we can make up for that outside of the city at camp. We can go hunt. I grew up where our camp is. I know the trails in the park. I know the layout all too well. I know where to hunt, so on and so forth. We can do all of those things, but you still need to adapt to the city. especially if you don't want to go noticed. There are people who sell other people. There are people that would do terrible things to someone who looks like they don't fit in because, pardon my bluntness, but they won't be missed because they don't look like they belong here. You need to look like you belong, like you're established. You need to even learn how to speak Dutch. That might be the longest process, but I can teach you. I grew up in this city. I'm not saying you have to act this way all the time, but you do need to learn the ways of the city you're in, and if I can teach you, I'm more than happy to. I'd rather not people look at you like you're out of place, like you don't belong, because that means they're not going to trust you, and you need to be trusted if you want to learn information, yes?
She just seems to be staring at you while we're walking, like she's taking it in and processing.
What brought you to Amsterdam?
Vengeance.
Okay, vengeance for?
My father.
Please, more details? Elaborate?
There was a pack of the worms who killed him.
She gives a low growl as she's walking.
And I've tracked them to this city, but I cannot find their trail now. Something is masking it.
Well, what if I told you that we're fighting a war with those of the worm and not just the massive general, but our sept was taken unexpectedly. That's the war we fight. Perhaps they're there and you don't know it. We don't know it. I have a talon that acts as a raven that could look and spy over their lands if I wanted it to and report information back, which is my intent, but I don't want to jump the gun because I only have so many.
I am patient.
Is that your only goal? Vengeance? Or do you plan on sticking around Amsterdam longer?
I will stay and fight the worm, for the worm seems to be strong here, as
It
is the
is.
weaver.
Oh, the Weaver is definitely strong, being as it's a city. What kind of pack are you looking to form? If I recall correctly, you and Alvaro were talking about forming a pack, but he seemed like he had his own ideas, which is fine. We all have our ideas. What are your ideas?
When him and I first spoke, he spoke of the Veronica, and that I should speak
Veronica.
with her.
Yes, Veronica is my former pack alpha. She's a wonderful woman. She's one of my very close friends.
But then when we spoke, she said that those of us who are not in packs should pack up together.
She's smart in that aspect. She probably said this because, well, her pack and my pack work together and we serve different totems. If there's a third pack with another different totem working with us, that gives all of us an advantage because her pack can do something, for example, that maybe my pack cannot. And your pack, when you form one, could do something that we cannot. So we can all work together, and our strengths are the other's weaknesses. If that makes sense to you.
It does.
Like, for example, my bans entail that if I make an oath, I cannot break it, even if it's to an enemy. And that I can, yes, I can't break oaths to my enemy, and wisdom, regardless of what it is, will always come at a cost. Every totem has a ban of sorts, things we cannot do. Can and cannot do, and they'll all come to an advantage if we all have different ones. Because something I can do, you may not be able to, so on and so forth.
My biggest concern is that without a theurge to open the deal, it would fall to me. And that would be acting outside of auspice.
Well, if you need someone to discuss terms, I'm open to doing that for you, but I cannot actively join your pack. The only other theurge that is packless that I know is a young bone gnawer who, from what I've been told, has had some problems based on her past. She's not a bad individual. She just has her own issues because of treatment, basically.
I see.
But yes, Veronica's pack, as I was a former member of that pack before I parted ways and decided to take up with Odin. Veronica's pack serves Eagle, and they're all about justice. So they oppose injustices and they work to maintain a just society. And killing bad people isn't going to cut it. The other fun bit is they get to display their fallen enemies as a warning. It doesn't matter whether it's publicly or at the sept piled high. But it's a warning, nonetheless. We had another pack that was here, but they ran like cowards after the battle with the Frozen Forest was won. We're not going to get into that. But yes. And like I said, my totem respects oaths. And wisdom comes at a price.
I
I
do not
still
think my place would be with Eagle's pack.
no.
They put too much value on what is the Homid word? They do not understand justice to a lupus.
Well, Lupus and Homids are very different beings, as are Metis. My only issue was the constant need to ask questions before taking action. I'm not saying, which is common amongst my people, where we brutally end people. I'm not saying that that is the way, but you can fight someone without killing them to gain information first and still serve justice. I don't want to, but I also have my own means for leaving, goals of my own that serving only Odin will assist me in. In fact, I told Veronica and I are still very close. I left the pack honorably. I made sure they knew what my intent was, as well as Eagle. But everybody has their own path. Your path may not be what everybody else's is, and I'm not entirely sure. You said vengeance, but what kind of pack are you looking at with Elvero? He'd mentioned Owl. I feel like you are an Arun, and as an Uktena, from what I understand, you have wisdom. But is Owl the proper totem for you?
I do not think so.
What type of totem are you looking for? Perhaps I can think on this and make suggestions to you, so you and Elvero can further discuss this.
Many of the totems that I would seek are not close to here.
Okay.
They are not suited for this weather.
Are they war related? Are they wisdom related? Honor?
My initial thoughts lead to war totems, but they are not the war totems like the Get of Fenris that are necessarily direct.
That I follow Odin, who is a Get a Fenris totem, as is my tribe. But he's a lot more than war. He's about wisdom in addition to war, and a variety of, well, magic. Can you read?
The Garu script, I can read it English, and I have become familiar with some of the symbols here.
I think perhaps for you to better understand. Would be for myself or for someone else to read you the Eddas on what Odin is. But there's also this. You're a lupus, so you have wild in nature. Freya is not only she is a totem of war, but she's also a totem of death and life. A variety of other things that might be worth looking into, and ultimately her name depends on what culture you're coming from. I know her as Freya. You might know her under another name.
She nods.
But it might be something worth looking into. Because you said you were born under a full moon, correct?
I was Raya.
So, there may be bonuses to be had there. I mean, Freya, like I said, she's not just a totem of death, a totem, I wouldn't really say a war, but she's a warrior in her own right. A totem of love, a totem of Freya is a variety of many things, but what it all comes down to is Odin takes half of the dead and Freya takes the other half. And they all fight the end battle, so they're both warriors in their own right. They all have their own wisdoms. At the end of the day, you have to look at what... It can't just be about what totem suits Alvaro. Though admittedly, Odin is also known as the Wanderer, as his tribe tend to be. You guys kind of have to look at it together. And like I said, I'm more than happy to do research for you both to try to figure out what might suit you. But I need to know what you're both looking for. You said war, and he had suggested owl, which implies wisdom.
I will think on this. Discuss it with Alvaro.
It's okay if you guys don't agree. Sometimes totems will choose you on their own. That's what happened with Eagle's pack. We were everybody was chosen by Eagle. I was the one that chose to go my own way. But I did so respectfully to Eagle. And that's okay. Just have to be, well, respectful about it. But I want you to think on that. So if you guys need any help, I'm more than happy to help. Crescent moons seem to be a hot commodity. The only few others are elders.
Where can I find this Eve?
She's around. She's a bonar, but she is a crescent moon. She's young, Cleath like you. She could definitely use some love, some learning from what I understand, but perhaps you guys will make a good fit for her.
It is possible.
I hope so.
And if Alvaro seeks to follow another totem, since he seems very interested in Veronica's pack, he may end up going to her.
He may.
It would make bringing Hummingbird easier.
There are hummingbirds all over.
They are not excited about cold.
No. I don't suspect they would be. They're so tiny.
They are, but Hummingbird is a powerful warrior, fast, cunning.
Yes.
He strikes from where the enemy does not expect it, from above.
No, they do not.
Being able to fly would have made the journey here simpler.
Well, I'm sure that there's a way for you to learn how to do so at some point. I'm sure you traveled by Moonbridge, yes?
No,
How did you travel here?
I hid on a ship that's docked in a place they called Iceland, though at that time I did not see ice.
Oh,
Then I took another boat down to Denmark.
oh my. Did you ever go to Norway in between?
No.
No.
I then began following the trail from there
Okay.
down to here.
Interesting. I'd like to hear about your stories of Iceland and Denmark. But I do need to find my way home. My uncle tends to get protective and worrisome if I'm not home.
Do you need a guiding hand? You do seem to be affected by the alcohol.
I'll be okay. I appreciate it though. He doesn't like strangers coming into his home.
Most creatures do not. Be safe then. Rends her enemy's skulls, Raya.
Ah, they don't call me Wrens or enemies skulls for nothing. She smiles. I will make sure you get back to camp.
I know the way.
Very well. You have a phone because Alvaro makes you, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, give it to me.
She pulls it out of a pocket.
She'll put her information in the phone for her. And
It's
she'll
a very basic flip phone.
right. And she'll look through it and get the information from hers and put it from little things and put it into her phone. We can get a hold of each other now.
As you wish, Raya.
Be safe.
And you.
Thank you. And I think that's a good place to call it, hey?
Yep.
All right. Well, Thank you, players, for playing. Watchers for watching. Good night from Amsterdam.